30-30 resolution rides to get you back on your bike, back and consistent. A great way to begin our year. So we're here at TAG, beginning with, of all things, some steep hills today. So hopefully you've had a chance to do a little bit of a warm-up this morning, 5 to 10 minutes or so, turning the pedals over easy. We'll begin right now finding your 50% watts. So that's 50% of your maximum aerobic power, if you know that number, or something that feels like a 5 out of 10. And find a cadence of 90 RPM. Let's bring that in now. We'll do a 5-minute warm-up and get right into some climbing. Woohoo! Great way to start the year. So welcome everyone. Here we go. So you're at 90-ish RPM at 50% watts. We're here for another just over 30 seconds. Then we'll move the cadence up, your RPMs up, and back our watts off so we're still at 50%. So from 90, we'll be going up to 95 in about 20 seconds. So just catching your breath here. A little bit of time to give those shoulders a little roll back. Gentle engagement with the core. Waking up our systems. Waking up our new year. And let's bring up your cadence to 95 RPM. And then back your watts to that 50%. So just a little increase in leg speed. We're here for a minute, settling in, feeling a little bit of pressure under the pedals, but not too much yet. And again, settling that breathing. This is just warm up. And 20 seconds, we'll lift that cadence one more time up to 100. In 10 seconds, bringing the leg speed up to 100, then again backing the watts to 50%. In 3, 2, 1, leg speed up, 100 RPM, and bring your watts back to your 50%. And settle in. 1 minute here. And then we have one more stage. We're going up to 105 before we jump onto our hills. And then we'll chat all about why we're beginning with steep hills right at the start. This is one of our high intensity workouts for the year. We'll be doing 3 of these a week in the high intensity range, beginning today on Tuesday. And in 5 seconds, lifting your cadence to 105, 3, 2, 1, 105 RPM. And let's leave your watts where they are. You'll be a little higher than that 50%, just building in a bit more power at 105 RPM. Nice work. Nice fast legs here. This is the top of our cadence efficiency range, which when we talk about preferred cadence is 90 to 105 RPM, where you'd be riding around on flatter surfaces at all ranges of power. In 15 seconds, we'll slow the leg speed down to 60 to 70 RPM and start adding your gear, your watts, your power up to an 8 out of 10 or 80%. And 3, 2, 1, Let's slow the leg speed right down, somewhere between 60 and 70 RPM, and move the power in. Looking for 80%, 8 out of 10 effort. We've hit our steep hill really fast. So getting on that, taking the first 30 to 60 seconds to adjust. We'll be back to this point several times throughout the rest of the half an hour. And bring up the watts. We're already 40 seconds into this. We're here seated for 2 minutes. So a note about where to choose your cadence within that 60 to 70. If you have knee or lower back issues, or even some other physiological impingement, could be a shoulder, could be something in your upper back, have that cadence up closer to 70. For everyone else, try to be closer to that 60. It is a bigger challenge, it is a steeper hill. And we're down to our last 30 seconds here for the first time through. Then we go right back up to easy. So we'll take all the watts off into that initial 80 to 100 watt range, and your cadence goes back up to preferred cadence, 90 to 100. 15 seconds. Come on, stay on it. Climbing up. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back the watts off as you bring that leg speed up. 90 to 100 RPM. We get a quick minute here. Maybe it's a little descent. Maybe it's a flat switchback. Let's get some recovery. Get those watts off. And catch your breath. Now's a great time to have a quick sip. More seconds here, then we're right back into that 60 to 70 RPM at 80% watts. That's 80% of that max aerobic power. Climbing back up. We're doing hill repeats to get stronger right off the top. And 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bringing the leg speed back to that 60 to 70 RPM as you bring in the watts. Try to get there quicker this time. Should know where to land. Come on, get that leg speed down. And settle those watts in. 80%. We're here for 2 minutes. All right, nice work. So as you're climbing up the hill here, thinking about your body position, you're in your top of your bars or in your hoods, generally not in our drops when we're climbing. So we're up here, we're able to look around, we're staying quite light on our bars, so we're not really driving into that. Despite climbing being more of a full body workout, impacting more than just our lower half. We definitely get into our lower back here, even our arms. 45 more seconds here, then we'll go right back to easy for 1 minute, and then start to ease back up before we do this another time through. 30 seconds. Nice and steady. This is a double-digit grade hill. We're building muscular strength. Ten seconds. Then backing off the watts and bringing that cadence back up over 90. In 3, 2, 1. Bring the watts down. The faster you can do this, the faster you get into recovery mode. And that's what we want here. We're 1 minute here, then we'll add a few watts in to set ourselves up for the second time through. Check in, bring the watts down, bring them down, under 50%. And in 15 seconds, we'll settle your watts at your 50% right here in this preferred cadence range for another minute before we jump right back onto our hill. And let's bring up those watts now. 5 out of 10 or 50%, 90 to 100 RPM. Quick body check here. Give those elbows a little wiggle. Give those shoulders a couple roll backs, letting them land down your back. Gentle engagement of the core, drawing that belly button to your spine. Helps settle you on the saddle, which is particularly important when we're climbing steep hills. In 20 seconds, we'll slow the leg speed back to that 60 to 70 RPM and bring the watts back up to that 80%. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg speed down as you move in the watts, landing in your chosen RPM between that 60 and 70, depending on your body. We're 20 seconds in. Everyone should be there now. We'll ride out the rest of this 2 minutes. And a note on standing. We do stand quite often when we climb. So feel free to stand at any point when we're doing these steep intervals. You might want to get off the saddle just to get back on top of your gear. Stretch out the back of your legs. Sit back down. Quick glance down. Check in with where you've landed and carry on. Always looking up the road if you can. We're coming through the first minute. 1 more minute here. Nice push, everyone. We don't always jump on our bikes and get onto a steep hill. So it's really good training for your body, a good adaptation, teaching yourself how to do this, which is particularly important if you're doing any events like fondos, off-road events, where you often hit a hill very quickly. 20 seconds, then we go back to our 1 minute easy. So getting the watts off, cadence up. 5, 3, 2, 1. Back the watts right off. Get that leg speed up, 90 to 100. You have a quick 1 minute recovery here. Get back to the bottom of this hill. Repeat it one more time. And then on to the next section. Are you sweating yet? Yes. Is your heart elevated? It should be. 30 more seconds. Then we're back to that 60 to 70 RPM at 80%. 2 minutes. Ten seconds. Then we slow the leg speed right down. And 3, 2, 1. 60 to 70 RPM, 80% watts. Let's get on it. This is our last time through this first hill. Come on, let's get those legs slowed right down. Bring in those watts. We're through 20 seconds. Minute 40 to go. Settle in. Don't forget, you can stand as needed. Okay, nice work. Once you've settled into this power and cadence, start looking around. Start checking in again with your body posture. We don't want to put extra strain where we don't need to. Hands back, traps. We want to stay nice and relaxed here. Using that core, stabilize our lower back with the bigger watts at the lower cadence. We're through the first minute. Nice work. Come on, we love these hills. And next set, we'll talk about all the great advantages of doing this kind of hill work. It's not just because we like to make you suffer. 20 seconds to go. Then we're backing off the gear, backing off the power, bringing that leg speed back up over 90. Got a 2-minute transition before things get even a little steeper. 3, 2, 1. Backing off the watts, leg speed up. Come on, get there quickly. We turn the corner, we're heading down. Leg speeds up, flushing out. Nice work. Stay on it. And start settling your breathing. We're just past the 30-second mark. We'll start bringing in a few more watts after the first minute here, up to 50%. And then we get onto our final climb portion. Steeper hills, longer, steeper. In 5 seconds, just bring your watts up to that 5 out of 10, 50%. 3, 2, 1. Staying at that nice high cadence. So what we have coming up is one time through. We're 3 minutes this time at 80 to 85% watts. So 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. Very hard effort. Still at that 60 to 70 RPM. Then we have that 1 minute easy again. Back up to 90 to 100 RPM. Repeating that 3 minutes 3 times before our final descent. So we're a little bit longer with the hard effort. We'll give you a chance to settle in a little bit more, comparing the two. If you are looking to challenge yourself progressively, perhaps you could start at 80%, add a few watts next time, and get up to 85% the third time. So we're on in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Leg speed down, bringing through the watts. 80 to 85%. 3 minutes. And slowing those legs right down. Bring through the rest of the watts. We're through 20 seconds. And settling in. Got 2.5 more minutes here. Again, stand as you need. I'll call out the minutes. Some people like to get up off the saddle for 5 to 10 seconds at the top of each minute. Good strategy. Things that keep us motivated. And there's 1 minute. Maybe you stand up a little bit, drive over the top of that pedal stroke, Sit back down, glance down, keep the watts within range, carry on. Coming up to halfway through. So climbing, doing steep climbing work like this is a muscular strength effort, much like doing squats in the gym. Doesn't replace the squats, but it does cross over in the muscular adaptation. It does make you stronger, not just for climbing, but for all your riding. Coming up to minute 2. And there's 2 minutes. 1 more to go. Stay steady. Check in with your hands. Check in with your feet. Nice pull across the bottom. And a pull up the back side of that pedal stroke. Engage the core if you're starting to sag. Come on, nice push. Doesn't get easy, you just get strong. 30 seconds to go. Then we have our 1 minute easy. You'll get there as quickly as you can. Take advantage of that. Grab a sip of your hydration, and then we're back on for another 3 minutes. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come on, back it off all the way. Get that leg speed up over 90. Come on, spin this out here. Flush out the work. Replenish a little bit of oxygen. Getting ready to get on it another time. We're almost there. Don't forget to drink. Sometimes this is the only chance you get, these quick little descents or switchbacks, but don't let it go. 20 seconds, we're back on for our second 3-minute climb. Come on, nice work here. Stay loose, stay loose. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Leg speed down to 60 to 70 RPM. Bringing through that watts, 80 to 85%. 3 minutes. We're on. And there's 20 seconds. Settling into your power and pace. Now all you have to do is look up the road, find that next marker you're going to get to, think about your strength, think about your position. Nice work. Coming through the first minute. And there it is, 2 minutes to go. So while we think of this type of set as a muscular strength set, it is definitely a cardiovascular set, as I'm sure you can tell from my breathing, my talking, and your own. This is what we want. You can compare it to walking or jogging, hiking on something flat, and then you hit a staircase or a steep hill, and no matter how easy you try to go, that heart rate goes up. That's what hills do, and they build our long-term ability to reduce our resting heart rate, which is a good sign of health. Coming up to that second minute, and 1 minute to go. Come on, stay with me. Maybe you're gonna stand. Nice work. If at all possible, try and settle that breathing a little bit into a regular cadence of its own. Take some concentration. "20 seconds to go, then we're on our descent or our switchback, whatever your vision of this hill looks like. In 10 seconds, taking the power right back off, leg speed back up over 90. 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's get that down. Get some recovery. Recover, recover, recover. Breathe. Try to be under that 50% watts here. Feels very light compared to what we've just done. 30 more seconds, then our final 3-minute climb, and then it's downhill. I'm not going to say downhill all the way, because really, for you personally, some great uphill gains. Ten seconds, then we're back to that 60 to 70 RPM. Everyone should try for that 85%. Unless you're brand new back, land around 80. 3, 2, 1. Slowing the leg speed down, bringing in the watts. We are 15 seconds in, well on our way up this final bit. Some of you have been training through the fall, and this is just adding to that. Some of you haven't been on your bikes in a while for various reasons, injuries, travel, work, that sort of thing. So we're meeting you where you're at today, finding that range that works for you, something you can ride consistently for that 3 minutes. And we're back on. Nice and slow legs. Got 90 seconds to go. Nice work. 30 minutes flies by, especially when we're doing this kind of work. Think about your contribution to the mitochondria that are in every cell of your body. So your mitochondria is responsible for 90% of the energy we use for all functioning. Muscles, brain, organs, everything. And by doing this kind of training, we're expanding those mitochondria as well as adding to them. So long-term effect is massive. What you would notice yourself is the ability to ride longer, stronger, faster, before you fatigue. And what better goal is there than that? And we're in that final minute, final grind up the hill. If you haven't made it to 85% and you want to try it, raise those watts now. 30 seconds to go. Come on, bring it home. We're almost there. Why did the cyclist climb the hill? To get to the top. 3, 2, 1, back it off all the way. Down we go. And carry on down the hill. We've reached our 30 minutes. So thank you very much for being here for day 1. Some amazing days to come. We've got skills work, endurance work, and just some good old high intensity. See you tomorrow.